This place first opened way back in 1957. We are inside legendary Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. Trevor Davis now to return. Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Second down, Brissett. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
One-handed. Love the effort. Not much production on that play, though, huh?
Not a whole lot of yardage. You get that grab, you probably want a first down.
And he'll be the one in the film session. If he's saying, hey, run that one back, coach.
Yeah.
Run that one back.
One more time.
Let's see that again.
One more time.
And they won't.
8 more times.
They won't. Didn't get much out of it.
Ebron caught left side. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
We always hear from coaches how much they like to run crossing routes because they want to hit their receivers on the go, get them the ball, and keep them moving. How about when you hit a tight end that way? Okay, the receivers are going to run past you most of the time. The tight end, they can do their damage a different way, break a few tackles and really scatter some people, can't they?
And that's going to be incomplete. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. On second down, here's Henry. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. The tackle made there by Jarrad Davis.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. On third down, Brissett. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at the 20. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Excellent effort defensively by him. 2 tackles for a loss last week, now 1 here in the first quarter.
He's an absolute disruptor, isn't he? And I think most offenses would love to go against guys who just want to hold the point of attack and try and keep things clean for their linebackers. But when they make those moves and they can get upfield, past the offensive line into the backfield, that's hard to handle.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. following the penalty, Chubb. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They'll try the air now with Stafford. Roberts got it. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Back deep, Tariq Cohen. Taking it about the 16. 12 yards on the return that time. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. A first update now out of Jacksonville. And it's the Ravens that have moved out to an early advantage. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL.
Here we go! Grand 38!
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Here's Brissett. And his throw's going to be incomplete. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. After the interception, here's Stafford. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw again, Stafford. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Lions are going to take a first quarter lead. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try to move the football.
Ebron's got it. And he's able to get up here to the 26. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And this one is incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, is intended target, and it's third down.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
Brissett sets to throw it. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. So here come the Lions now. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he gets this one just shy of the 40 to mark him down at the 39. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
That's a lot of beef thundering downfield off of the toss play, and it takes me back to when I was a kid and watching USC play. Remember the old toss that they ran? They used to call student body right or student body left because everyone was out in front of the ball carrier. In fact, one of their favorite plays, it was called rose stem right or rose stem left, depending on the formation. 28 toss. The 28 toss was their bread and butter. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
A give. This is Chubb. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Tackle made there by Nick Perry.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense...
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, here's Stafford. Open man, and that's his tight end, Jake Butt. And he's got the first, but we also have a flag on the field. And they're already walking backwards. So following the holding call, what can they do here on third and long? Out of the gun, Stafford. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up fourth down. Here's Sam Martin now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense. Get a couple of first downs.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. To throw is Brissett. The left side throw complete to Adams. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A first down carry for Henry. And he'll get this up to about the 40. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Brissett now on 2nd down. And Josh Hill has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a first down.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to the ground now. It's Henry. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep a defense honest.
You mean or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
A 2nd down throw for Brissett. And he hits his tight end, Ebron. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Derrick Henry, and a second effort gets him in. Touchdown, Packers. Derrick Henry, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play. Holding him to no gain.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Oliver. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. Out left side here to Bryant. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. And now the Packers going to take another timeout. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. It doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. A give to Henry. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. Flush to his right. And escapes the sack. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
The Packers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Brissett. And that is incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Too long for a field goal, too short to punt that in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. Now Brissett is going to find Hill here. And he's taken down inside the 30. 4th down, no problem. Just a ho-hum pickup of 14 to keep the offense on the field. Brissett now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Brissett. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to go up top for the end zone. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. On play action, Brissett. And he's got his target. That's Moore. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Jamon Moore, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6. Crosby on now to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Oliver. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. On first down, Stafford here. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Jones. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 15 yards through the air and a first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On first down, it's Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Stafford now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Stafford looks to throw again. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Golladay. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Again, it's Stafford. And, oh, it'll be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. Nine seconds to play, likely the final snap of the first half, as it's 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the offense will cover this one up, but they'll be pushed back inside their own 10. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. So we're at halftime here at Lambeau with the Packers taking the lead to the break. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one, as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play, because that's been an issue for them in this game. Give them 12 yards on that one. It earns them a fresh set of downs.
22. Set. Ready.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Hey, tag 50 left. Set. Lady. Double.
They'll try the air now with Stafford. Finds Jake Butt over the middle. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that, because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20.
You ready? 180.
From the gun, Stafford. His throw incomplete. Kenny Golladay, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Stafford. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. 23 yards on the play. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. To the air again, Stafford. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now. He's been terrific so far. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. Just 21 yards on the punt there. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They begin with Henry. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a 1st down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Flex round! Flex round!
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Being chased out left. Shedding through the defense. And he'll be forced out of bounds shy of the line of scrimmage, so that'll be credited as a sack. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Ohio! Ohio!
2nd down, Brissett. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Hill. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Now a handoff to Henry. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Brissett sets to throw it. Trying to get it to Cobb, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. Spinning away. And an alley to run. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Here's Nick Chubb as they try to fire up this run game. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside, where they can really shred your defense.
Back to throw, Stafford.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Stafford now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. A toss play to Chubb. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Throw left side complete. It's Bryant. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Henry. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Flex round! Flex round!
10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. The Packers on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Play fake, Brissett. And Davis has it over the middle. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Back now at Lambeau. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the 4th quarter. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Brissett now. Caught left side by Cobb. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one goes for 24 yards.
Here we go.
Henry. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
Come on, let's go. Grand 38.
Brissett now on 2nd down. And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. The tight end Josh Hill was the target. And now it's 3rd down. To throw, Brissett. And this is going to be incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe he didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. And Crosby puts it through, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a two-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 16. Here's Stafford. He'll get this one to Galladay. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And that is incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. The Lions on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This time they face a 3rd and 2. From the gun, here's Stafford. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. They only get 5 out of that quick slam, but that's good enough for a first. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. On 2nd and 10, Stafford. He's going to rifle one deep left side. It's caught inside the 25. A big play there for Detroit. 49 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
11 more on that one and another first down. Stafford on 1st down. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Lions able to get this back within a touchdown. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
Here's Prater now set to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario Get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
A second down throw for Brissett. And he hits his tight end, Ebron. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a third down. Throwing, Brissett. And he connects with Ebron. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter.
Ohio! Ohio!
On the bootleg, it's Brissett. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, you need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Brissett on 2nd and 10. Ebron's got it. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Brissett again. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. So that'll get them the first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. Now a first down throw. Stafford. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now it's Stafford. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Back to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Oliver. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is going to be Packer football.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they got a chance to win the game. Instead, they coughed it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. He's back to throw. They'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. He'll look to throw. Open man is Galladay, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. And now all of a sudden the shoe's kind of on the other foot. Maybe you pull the reins back here a bit?
Yeah, a little bit because you got to make sure that you don't score too quickly.
Hey, tag 50 left.
They'll look to throw. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the fourth.
Wow, wow, wow. I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now the Packers get set to go. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute it.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment. But there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They begin this drive with Chubb. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. The first-round pick, Jair Alexander, making the tackle. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle at the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
National Football League, Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you prime the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Lions, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they will head home next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for the Packers, the loss drops them back to 4-3 so far. And they'll get an extra week to think about it, as the midseason bye might be coming at just the right time. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
you